Now, we can't take credit for that, honey. Our baby always takes a nap around 5 o'clock.
Oh, come on, what are you talking about? I mean, we get this child, right? He's a little feisty, he's a little crabby about things. We take him outside for some fresh air. He comes back and he goes to sleep like some kind of an angel. Well, that's what I call good parenting.
Oh, yeah, and you are such a proud little papa, aren't you, Daddy?
Yeah, well, I'm proud of both of us. You know, I really think our son drew the long straw when it came to choosing parents.
Well, you know, I think we were pretty lucky. I mean, I know his name is Clint now, but he really is the miracle child. And he's brought us together, hasn't he?
Bloody hell. You in the place is pretty. You! Nice try, Coleman. Sorry, sport, but you should have called first. You just had a fatal lapse in good taste.
Hope the boys in the bunkhouse never see me doing something like this.
It was a lovely meal, May, and I thank you for including me.
Oh, your pie was just scrumptious. I'm surprised that Buddy and Clint haven't come in here for their thirds.
Yes, ma'am, those were a mighty fine pie. Too bad old Munro's outside taking care of the livestock, huh?
But I thank you for the compliment, Cody. And as a matter of fact, I was about to take this piece out to Mr. McGillis, so excuse me, please.
Well, ain't you lucky?
Cody, honey, you sure have had something under your saddle all night. You want to talk to me about it?
Yeah, it's that, adding device of Clint's.
I
Or
thought
whatever the hell it is.
you wanted to keep that upstairs in that drawer.
Yeah, well, I've been thinking about it, honey. And the more I think about it, the more I start to worry about old Clint.
Well, honey, if Clint gave that to Buddy, he had a reason for it.
Yeah, sure he had a reason, but now I'm starting to have some questions about it.
Well, like what?
Like where did this Clint Buchanan fella come from anyway?
Clint, if you ask me, it's clear spring water.
You don't say.
Yes, sir, I do. Clint, you're part of the family now. You've got a place here with us.
Well, I appreciate the sentiment, buddy. And I can't argue with you, at least on the short term, because until this wound in my shoulder heals up, I can't be straying too far.
Clint, there's no need to stray anymore. Just look at the picture in your pocket. Go on. Now, see there? My wife is doing fine wherever she is. So you can stop worrying about her and settle down here.
It's not quite that easy.
Now,
buddy.
why not? Miss Jenny is every bit as pretty as she is. And her pie is blue ribbon.
Well, once again, I can't argue with you. And if what Jenny says is true, that she can't have children, then there's really no way that she could be Ricky's great-grandmother, is there?
I think the good Lord's got a providence in her.
Providence?
Yeah. Obviously, he wants you to marry her. What else could it mean?
Here's what to do when you don't find the rainbows in this time.
All I'm saying is, well, maybe you should put your wife and kids behind you and start a new life here. Clint, did I say a little too much?
No.
If I did, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay, buddy. Look, don't you have some schoolwork to finish up? You don't want Miss Jenny checking up on you while she's still here, do you?
Yeah, but I'd rather stay out here with you. Okay, I've said my say.
Oh, buddy, remember, when it comes to you doing your arithmetic, you don't use that calculator I gave you.
Oh, but it's so easy.
Yeah, it's a little too easy. Besides, your friends don't have the same electronic advantage, and you don't want to cheat now, do you? Huh?
No, it ain't cheating. I mean, it isn't cheating. Pa always says that if rain falls on your pasture and not someone else's, don't complain.
Well, your daddy's got a point. However, how would you feel if Bobby Phillips had to calculate and you didn't, huh?
Well, now that you put it that way.
Attaboy. You go in there and do your numbers the good old-fashioned way, and you make Miss Jenny and me proud of you, okay?
You know, Clinton is always talking about the future. She's talking about things that no God-fearing man has got a right to know.
Is this the Cody Vasquez that I know? You know, when last week we were sitting out there on the front porch and you told me to mind my own business. Don't ask any questions. Live and let live. You remember all that?
Yes, ma'am. That was before I started to think. Now, that man has got 1 foot here and 1 foot someplace else. Now, something there don't make a lot of sense to me.
Honey, we wouldn't even be together if it weren't for Clint. He's the reason we got married, and he did the same thing for Buck and Blaze.
Woman, it ain't the same thing.
Do you know, he's the one that ended the range wars between the farmers and the ranchers. Have you forgotten about all that stuff,
No,
Cody?
I haven't forgotten about that. In fact, I've been thinking about it an awful lot. Maybe that's some part of his bigger plan, a grander scheme he's got for everyone concerned. Maybe he's just trying to make us all get on his side, right? And then he's going to gain control of all of us.
Oh, I see. He's gonna gain control of an old cow town like Buchanan City. Or,
Maybe.
he wants control of that old rock-hard pasture of Papa's out back. That's what he wants.
Now, you listen to me. Man talks about the future. He talks about all these things. He knows things that we can't even dream of.
Right.
Maybe this house is sitting on a passel of diamonds.
A passel of diamonds. Who'd have ever thought?
All right, maybe not
Cody.
diamonds.
You've been upstairs reading Buddy's old mystery books.
Hey, don't you go making fun, all right? Now, I got me some fast, hard questions to ask that man, and I'm going to get some answers.
Oh, honey, don't, please.
Look, I know you trust the man, all right? But I'm sorry, I got to settle my own mind on this.
It's not just because I trust him. It's because of Miss Jenny, too.
What has Miss Jenny got to do with all this?
Well, I wanted to return the favor for Clint and
Well, you're not talking about setting up Clint and Miss Jenny,
Well,
are you?
Don't get mad at me about it. I think they're just perfect for each other in kind of a weird way. But listen, if you go out there and you start asking him a bunch of questions, he's going to take off out of here, and she's never going to be happy.
No, stop that. It's not on my head.
I started on my homework. Could I have some more pie, May?
No.
Bud, look, now that you're in here, does that mean Clint's out there by himself?
Yeah, it sure is. Why?
Fine. Sorry, hon. This is something I got to take care of right now.
Okay.
Go for it. Let's see who moves faster. You for the door or me for the trigger?
Look, man, you've got me all wrong.
Huh? So maybe you tell me what you're doing in here. And then while you're about it, you can tell me who sent you.
No one. I came here on my own, okay?
To do what? Well, you don't want me to ask you a second time, do you?
Look, I've seen you flashing money around to impress people like Mary Lynn. I thought you might have some more stashed up here.
You're a thief. Is that what you're telling me?
Look, I'm not proud of it. Man's got to take a chance every once in a while, right?
Oh, I agree, but a man's also got to suffer the consequences for his actions. You chose the wrong room to rip off, mate. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to kill you. In self-defense, of course.
Look, if you kill me, you're going to have a lot of explaining to do. Why don't you just let me go, and I promise I won't hassle you anymore.
You won't. You'll be dead. And I mean, as far as explanations go, I'm going to be well out of the country by the time they find your body. Nice knowing you, Coleman.
Griffin Clark, it's the police.
Good timing. Police. Come on in.
Shut up!
Hey, is that you?
Yeah, I'll be right with you, officer. I'm sorry about the delay, officer. I've had my hands full.
Wade, what the hell are you doing here?
Look, I can explain. There's
Save it. You're Griffin Clark?
Yes, officer.
It's Captain Garrettson. I got some questions for you, Mr. Clark. It's about the shooting of Lee Sanders.
Oh, you mean that terrible business in the hotel last night? Well, I'm sorry, Captain, but all I know is what I read in the scandal.
Oh, that's a crock. There's a lot
I've
of
had about
explaining
enough.
to do.
You? Instead of asking me questions, why don't you arrest this man for breaking into my room?
That's not what it was about.
I found him in the closet.
I want the truth, Wade. How did you get into this room?
Look, there are a lot of good reasons. Okay, I jimmied the door, and I came in when I knew this guy wouldn't be in here. I was trying to help Mary Lynn.
By breaking and entering?
This guy used to be Donald Lamar's chauffeur. I was thinking there might be some evidence up here, and I could come up and find it and blow some holes in Lamar's version of what happened.
That's beautiful, just beautiful.
Well, it must be on to something, because this guy's carrying a gun.
A gun?
Look,
huh?
I can explain about that.
Shut up! Put your hands on the table right there.
look.
Spread them. Spread them. What's this?
If you'd asked me, I could have saved you the trouble. I've got
Don't even think about it.
my wallet. Do you mind?
Slowly.
I've got a permit. Mr. Lamar said as the special prosecutor's chauffeur, I carry it for protection.
I thought Lamar fired you.
True, but it's still valid, isn't it?
Ask him about the suitcases. Ask him why he was trying to get the hell out of town.
Well, Mr. Clark?
I was going to Sydney. My dear old mum's been sick,
Cancel it.
She's fading fast.
So's your credibility, Mr. Clark. If you try to leave town, your dear old mum's gonna be heartbroken to find out that her poor little boy is in the Landview jail.
This is what you call justice. You should be arresting this man. I'm sure Mr. Lamar would have your badge if he knew about this, Captain.
Wade, you go wait for me in the car. I'm taking you down to headquarters.
Oh, you're not going to knuckle under to this kind of pressure, are you?
You're in enough trouble already. You want to add verbal abuse of an officer to that?
Now you know why I broke in here on my own.
Nice work, Captain. I'm sure my boss will look favorably upon you.
Sit down, Mr. Clark.
Beg your pardon?
I said sit! I came here with questions. I want some answers. Now!
Sarah, I didn't know you were there. Come on in.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you didn't, Sarah. We were just talking about the baby.
Oh, yeah, about all sorts of things. We all went for a little stroll in the park, the three of us. Oh, you should have seen how happy it made Clint to have us all together.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. If you'll excuse me, I have some phone calls to make.
Sarah, wait a second. You sure you didn't want anything from me?
No, not from you. Actually, Tina had said that she'd go look at some properties with me for the new school, but...
Oh, Sarah, I'm so sorry. I was having so much fun, I completely forgot.
I understand. Look, if you're too busy with other things, I can deal with the realtor on my own.
No, I want to help. I said I want to help, and I do. I mean, I don't know that much about real estate or anything, but I do. I really do know how to hold out for a good deal.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Yeah, and the number one thing they tell you is to dress the part, right? So if you just give me a few seconds, and I will go upstairs and change into my best bargaining outfit.
Sure you don't mind?
No, are you kidding? Gives me an opportunity to look in on the little Clint.
Do me a favor. Give him a kiss from his daddy, huh?
Of course I will.
Well, I guess I better go get my coat before we head out, if you'll excuse me.
Sarah, wait a second, all right? There's something I think we should talk about. I think you know what it is.
Please, Cord. You don't know me any explanation.
Please, anyway, just stop and let me say something to you, and I really think you ought to listen. Hey, Clint. Miss Jenny, she makes herself some mighty fine pie here, don't she?
You bet she does, just like Buddy says. It's blue ribbon. I'm just on my way in the house to get another slice.
Hold on there a second, if you don't mind.
Sure, something wrong?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Sounds kind of serious.
All right, Clint, I'm gonna get right to it. About a week ago, Mae was going through Buddy's drawers, and she comes across this adding device. Now, at first, we weren't going to say nothing about it, but then the more I thought about it, I started worrying about what it is and what it's for.
My calculator. I should have known I couldn't keep it a secret forever.
Yeah, well, my question is, what is a magic device like this doing at a farm in the middle of the Arizona territory?
I had it with me when I left home.
From where, Clint? Now, you know me. You know I'm a man that will face any other man out in the street with a gun or with my bare hands if I have to. But this thing scares me, Clint. Now, it's like it don't even belong in this day and age.
Well, you're right about that. It doesn't belong here any more than I do. Here I am.
All right, Clint, and that's my next question. Where in blue blazes are you from?
I've told you, a little place called Valhalla.
Oh, damn it, Clint, I've checked it out myself. The place don't exist. I've looked, I know.
Well, you haven't looked in the right places and you haven't asked the right people. There is a place called Valhalla, Arizona. Is this not in 1888? Cody, I don't belong here. You see, for the past several weeks, I have been trapped in what the scientists call a time warp. My real home is in 1988, Cody. 1988. That's 100 years down the road.
I can see clearly now.
Sarah, I think we know each other too well to pretend. Now, I saw the look on your face when you walked in just now.
Cord, I don't know what you think you saw, but...
Sarah, come on. I was holding Tina's hand. Don't tell me you didn't notice.
What goes on between you and Tina, or anyone else for that matter, has nothing to do with me. We're friends. Nothing more.
Listen, because we are friends, very special friends, I need for you to understand what's happening here. Not that I entirely understand what's happening myself. I don't know what happened, but somehow Tina and I have taken a step or two towards, I don't know what you'd call it, maybe a reconciliation.
You do not have to reveal your personal life to me.
Yes, I do. And I think you know why I do. Sarah, please don't turn away. Look at me for a second, all right? Now, when I asked you to stay here in Landview and not take that job in Greece, that was a very, very personal appeal. And now I feel like, well, I guess I've misled you, and I'm real sorry for that.
There's nothing to be sorry for. Look, as a friend, you helped me to make a choice. And I'm glad, I really am. You helped me realize that Landview's where I belong.
You're not just saying that.
If you knew me so well, you'd know that I don't just say things. My home is here, not some island off Greece.
Are you sure? Because I hope you didn't make that decision just because of me.
You're a very charming man.
Oh, yeah.
You are. But I'm capable of making my own choices for my own reasons. And thanks to Clint's bequest, I decided to start a school for the blind in his honor.
Well, if that's the reason, Sarah, I'm glad. But I hope that... I hope you know that there was something more intense than just friendship between us.
Yes, you and all the Buchanans. You made me feel like part of the family. And I'm grateful to you, to all of you.
No, I don't want your gratitude, Sarah. I want you to be as open and honest with me as you always have been.
What do you want me to say to you? That I like you? All right. I like you a lot. I don't think that's been any big secret around here. But I learned a long time ago to control my feelings and not get my hopes up too high.
Well, Sarah, that's no way to go on living a life.
For me, it is. Look, Cord, I knew as soon as the baby came home that it was going to change the way you and Tina felt about each other.
Oh, well, maybe you knew that, but I sure as hell didn't.
Well, maybe I know things about you that you don't even know about yourself. Family means everything to you. And a family, a mother and a father and a child, they belong together, right?
In some cases, yes, they do, but not always.
There's nothing more to say. Except that I hope you and Tina are going to be very happy together.
Sarah.
I convinced your father to stop working long enough to taste the pie, and then I tried on one of these dresses that you wanted me to try on. Oh, May, does it look absolutely awful?
It looks beautiful, Jenny.
Oh, please don't make fun of me.
Oh, no, it is just right for you. Look at that. The fabric and the cut and, oh, my, the color. It's just made for you, Jenny.
Do you really think so?
I do.
I was so afraid to catch a look at myself in that looking glass on your dresser. Well, think I'll go and take this off before someone else sees me and laughs.
Nobody's going to be laughing at that. Listen, I looked through all the catalogs, and every woman in Paris and New York is wearing a gown just like that this year.
But we are a far way from Paris or New York.
Well, that's exactly why we need to have it. Why do you think I ordered that for my trousseau? I don't want my husband to think he's just married to some old farm girl. We girls here in Arizona, I think, have the capacity to be very glamorous.
Well, then you should be wearing this, not I.
Yeah, but that's the thing about when you order from catalogs. You don't know if it's going to fit you a lick or not, and it didn't fit me, and that's why I wanted you to try it on.
Well, I have tried it on, and it was fun. But I'm going to take it off now so it doesn't wrinkle, because if it does, you won't be able to return it.
Well, I'm not going to return it. I want you to have it, Jenny.
Oh, no, May, I couldn't possibly accept this.
Well, why not? I mean, even if it was the dress for me, I'm changing sizes so quick. And if I go ahead and mail it off and have him exchange it and send it back, Lord knows if I'll get the right size.
Oh, May, it's so generous of you, but still in all, I think it's a terrible waste of your money. Where on earth would I wear such finery in these environs?
Well, why don't you try the environs of that front porch out there? There's a mighty handsome man that has nothing but a pie crust to keep him company. I bet he'd love to take a look at something this pretty right now.
Lord, I just don't believe I am sitting here talking to the father of my great-grandson. Well, I guess that's just keeping up with some of the other strange things you've said and done ever since you first come to town. Let me tell you something, Clint. Whatever time we find ourselves in, you can count on me.
Thanks, Cody. But the main thing I need from you is the same thing I asked from Buddy.
Now, so you keep it under my hat. That's all right. Don't worry about me saying a word to anybody. Besides, I think May and her pa, I think they're a little old-fashioned, if you know what I mean. I think if we told them about this, they would put you, me, and Bud into some kind of an asylum.
Well, as long as we keep it among the three of us, I'll still have time to try and find my way back home.
How are you going to do that, Clint? How are you going to find your way back home?
I got here, didn't I? There has to be a way to get back.
Maybe. Maybe you were sent here for some kind of reason.
Well, now, that's what Buddy keeps saying. He says that I should stop trying to find my way back to the future and just make a life for myself here.
Well, old Bud McGillis has been known to be a pretty smart fella for a guy his age.
Cody, I'm not going to stop trying.
I hope your family hasn't stopped trying to look for you, Clint. I mean, even in the future. Man's been missing as long as you have. They might start thinking that he's already dead.
Good evening, gentlemen. Why, what a glorious night.